Right, Enchanting Advanced. Now, if you don't know the basics of Enchanting, I'm just going to refer you to another video. I'll put a link in the description, so do check that. That'll just it'll just show you the basics. Right, I'm just going to introduce you to my blackboard. Say hi. Ah, he's a bit shy. I made him myself. With pixels and cheesecake. Right, I'm going to do a bit of maths after, but don't start panicking just yet. It's quite simple stuff. So we'll get back to that after. So by now you've probably gathered quite a large collection of these completely pointless, petty and lesser soul gems and stuff, and they're rubbish, you know, they don't hold any charge or anything. Well, I'm going to show you how to utilise them to increase your enchant skill quite efficiently. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is enchant a weapon with Soul Trap, but just before we start that, I just want to show you a spell I made myself here. Fortify Luck 100 points and Fortify Intelligence 100 points for 2 seconds on self. Now it only needs to be 2 seconds because I just cast it. There you go, it's fortified 100 points and hey, time stopped. And that continues through the enchant process as well, so it doesn't need to be for a long time. 2 seconds is plenty. You can do it with 1 second, I just don't trust myself half the time. Right, so I'm just going to enchant this weapon with Soul Trap now. And I'm going to put some fire damage in second place, okay, because I actually want this item to lose its charge for a reason. Also notice I've put Soul Trap there first. I'll come back to that later with the blackboard. And now you're just going to fly around and you're just going to fill all those naffy soul gems with naffy creatures. So now you've got together a naffy collection of soul gems, you're going to use those to recharge your weapon. Now every time you use a soul gem, it increases your enchant skill just a little bit, so that's a great way to shift that rubbish. Right, it's time for the maths, so you can start panicking now. Nah, I'm only kidding, it's not too bad. Now this is just a little, if you notice, if you put in more than one effect onto, you know, any enchantment, the cost goes up quite dramatically. Each time you add a new effect, it just keeps going up and up and up. Now there's actually a mathematical equation to that, going on the base cost of each spell and its position in the list. So I'm going to show you that, and this is just gonna, just trust me, it'll be easy. Right, so imagine you've got 3 spells, okay? You've got big spell here, say that the base cost of that, you know, before you start tweaking it and adding time and distance and whatnot, say the base cost of that is 6. You've got a medium spell of, you know, any kind, its base cost is 4. And then you've got an itsy bitsy teeny weeny spell at the bottom there, whose base cost is 2. Okay. Now what happens is each time you add an effect in there, okay, so if we just place the first effect there, its base cost would be 6. Okay, dead simple. But if you add the second effect in, then suddenly the first effect's cost doubles. But the one at the bottom remains the same. If you add a third effect in, you're now paying 3 times as much for the first effect, twice as much for the second effect, and the last effect remains the same. So basically you've got to pay for itself and each effect underneath it. So as it's set up at the moment, the base cost for this is 6, and it has 2 spells below it, so it's plus 6 plus 6, which is 18. Okay, this second one costs 4, and it has 1 spell below it, so it's 4 and 4, which is 8, so that comes to 26, and the bottom one's 2 with none below it, so it remains the same, that's 2, which is 28, so the base cost for this would be 28. Now if you just flip this round a bit, it becomes a lot cheaper, because all of a sudden your cheapest item is at the top. Okay, now the top one's going to have to pay 3 times its price. It's only 2. It's only 6 now. It was 18 before because you put the most expensive item at the top, and now it's just 6. And the most expensive item you're only paying for once. And then if you find yourself with enchantment points left over, what you can do is make a mental note. Say if you make something, it's using 60 out of 80 enchantment points. Okay? Make a mental note of what it was you did, and then delete that, and then put something else in at the start. And here's the trick, use half. Because remember, as soon as you put that second spell in, that's going to cost twice as much. So you've got 20 points left over, so just add something which uses 10 points, and then when you add the second one, it'll then cost 20 points for that, and the first one will remain untouched. That's a great way for just padding out and using all your extra little bits and bobs. Every little helps.